As these storms continue to lift up into our area, lacking some instability. So not expecting severe weather, but a strong storm or two can't be ruled out. So we still have to get through some rain and some lightning this evening. The main action down to the south, and there's that snow back to the west and the northwest, and that will be moving in tomorrow morning. So a dynamic system that's also going to give us a big weather pattern shift from mild conditions to cold, windy, the return of winter. It's coming tomorrow and over the weekend. We'll show you more details in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, we'll see you then. The Bears closer to playing ball with the city of Hammond, Indiana tonight in the high-stakes game of who will win the Bears' new stadium.
In the meantime, a stunned Governor Pritzker weighing in on the team possibly crossing the state line. Our team coverage begins with Eric Hong on the new action in Hammond.
Hammond is ready to partner with the state and the Chicago Bears and do whatever it takes to make this project a success.
Hammond Mayor Thomas McDermott Jr. confident this 300-acre parcel of land will soon be the home to the Bears.
I want to see Caleb Williams driving down Calumet Avenue, going to his house in Robertsdale.
This after a bipartisan Indiana House Committee voted unanimously to advance a bill creating a stadium finance authority, a significant step towards building a stadium and surrounding complex in Hammond's Wolf Lake area. The Bears in a statement writing, "We are committed to finishing the remaining site-specific necessary due diligence to support our vision to build a world-class stadium near the Wolf Lake area."
The McCaskies are great people, and I believe that they're negotiating in good faith. So, this could. It looks like it's going to happen.
Under Indiana's bill, the Bears would pay $2 billion toward construction costs, while the state of Indiana issues a bond to build the stadium and provide infrastructure funding. A similar approach was used to finance Lucas Oil Stadium for the Indianapolis Colts.
When you look at this type of deal, the state of Indiana is very good at this. So I'm glad that we're able to partner with the Bears. I'm glad we're able to move this forward.
We're looking at this as just a completely brand new opportunity that's going to be transformative for the entire region.
Eric Hong, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
And Eric, the news out of Hammond today catching Illinois and Governor Pritzker by surprise. Craig Wall getting reaction tonight from Springfield.
Illinois leaders left scrambling and scratching their heads today after negotiations with the Bears took a surprise turn. But while the team considers options on both sides of the border, negotiations behind the scenes continue in earnest. As lawmakers, the governor's team and the Bears continue discussions on a bill that could clear the way for the team to transform the former Arlington Heights racetrack into a new domed stadium, the Bears pulled what seemed to be a trick play.
It was a surprise to us. The Bears actually, yesterday, we completed more than 3 hours, my team did, of discussions with the Bears. Very positive discussions.
The surprise coming out of a meeting today in which Indiana lawmakers passed a bill that backs a stadium deal to lure the Bears to Hammond, the Bears then suggesting they were committed to building a stadium there.
So, again, I'm surprised, dismayed, very disappointed at what I saw in a statement. Again, the Bears post that have said, well, we didn't really mean that they're moving to Indiana, which is kind of the implication of it, but it's apparently not true.
Indiana is really giving the Bears every reason to leave Illinois. We want to make sure that what works for the Bears organization and the taxpayers in the state of Illinois can come together. And I still think we can do that.
The sticking points seem to center on what infrastructure improvements the state would pay for, like road and rail upgrades, versus what the Bears would pay for. Also, property tax rates for developments other than the stadium itself. Illinois lawmakers concerned, but not panicking as they work on a new bill for the Bears.
We've been working on this for a long time, and we've been responsive to the Bears for a long time. And there are a lot of details in this kind of deal, and we're close.
We need to make sure that we're building into this affordability for people so that they can maybe afford to go to a game or afford to pay for things at the game.
If Indiana seems to have the upper hand at the moment, Illinois is still very much in the game with leaders fighting to keep the Bears, but the Bears remain very much in control of what happens next. In Springfield, Craig Wall, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Craig, thanks so much. Now we invite you to stay with ABC7 for updates on the Bears stadium plans. We'll have the latest on air on our website and wherever you stream.
Updating breaking news tonight, a nearly 6-hour-long standoff in Arlington Heights has ended. A video shows police taking a man away from the scene. We blurred his face as he has not been charged at this time. Police say all of this began about 7 this morning in the 800 block of North Chestnut. Officers responded to a call of a burglary in progress. They learned a man was inside the house along with 2 people who lived there. Police eventually got the residents out safely. Nearby schools were placed on a soft lockdown during that standoff. Now to a case the I-Team's been following for months. The Chicago attorney accused of killing his wife pleaded not guilty to murder charges during his arraignment today. Prosecutors say Adam Beckerink threw Caitlin Tracy over the stairwell railing at a South Loop condo building in October of 2024. Defense attorneys argue Tracy had a history of drug use and may have fallen accidentally or intentionally over that railing. Beckerink has been denied pretrial release.
We have updated information tonight on the funeral arrangements for civil rights leader Reverend Jackson. A public visitation will be held next Thursday and Friday at Rainbow Push headquarters in Kenwood. And then on Friday, March 6th, there will be the People's Celebration at the House of Hope. A private homegoing celebration will be held on Saturday, March 7th at Rainbow Push. We have all the times and locations on our website and our news app. Leak & Sons Funeral Home will be handling the arrangements. There is new guidance from the Cook County State's Attorney's Office today. It lays out a roadmap to deal with federal immigration agents who are accused of unlawful use of force. ABC7's Sarah Schulte explains.
Whether it's the Minneapolis fatal shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy or the Chicago shooting of Marimar Martinez, so far no federal immigration agents have been charged with the crime while on duty.
In fact, the agent, in our case, Agent Exum, was patted on the back within 3 hours by Greg Bavino saying, great job on shooting somebody.
Christopher Parenti represents Marimar Martinez. As a former federal prosecutor, he says historically, when on-duty federal agents act outside the bounds of the law, the Justice Department conducts an investigation. But under the Trump administration, that is not happening.
We live in this strange time where not only are they not investigating, but they're being rewarded and promoted by the feds instead of investigated. So when that happens, there's nobody else to turn to other than the state.
There has been public pressure from immigration groups and elected officials for Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke to do more. Today, her office released a protocol for state prosecutors to follow if they are presented with evidence to prosecute a federal agent. So far, no law enforcement agency has brought the office a case involving an on-duty agent.
It contains the scope of cases, the relevant law, so that they understand as they're conducting their investigations what the barriers or difficulties that we're going to have to overcome might be, and kind of outlines that process.
And there are 2 big barriers. By law, the federal government does not have to share evidence with the state. The second is the Supremacy Clause, which gives federal agents immunity.
We have to know that there is sufficient admissible evidence to overcome that defense so that we can prove our case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Parenti understands state prosecutors face a high hurdle, but he says the new guidance is better than nothing.
The value of something like this is simply deterrence of agents. When they're in Cook County, at least, they see, well, look, you know, Greg Bavino, Kristi Noma, they can't protect us completely.
Meantime, Chris Parenti says if a Department of Justice investigation into Agent Exum reaches a dead end, then he will turn to the Cook County State's Attorney's Office to take action. But even then, he says the state will need cooperation from the feds. Sarah Schulte, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Sarah, thank you. New developments in the Jeffrey Epstein case. We're going to take a look at 2 investigations launched today, including the arrest of a former royal.
But first, his race kept him off the golf course for years. How Jim Dent eventually became a success on the Senior PGA Tour, and where you can see a local documentary about his life.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Yep.
He was the best long hitter, hitting the drive ball today. He hit it anywhere.
Jim Dent would go on to win millions on the Senior PGA Golf Tour, but before that, he was denied the opportunity to play in Augusta, Georgia in the 1950s because of his race. He became a caddy instead and turned the knowledge he gained into a very lucrative career.
His story is now being told on the big screen. And joining us tonight, Alvin Daniels, the director and producer of The Master Student Becomes the Master Professional, the Jim Dent story. It's great to see you again. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
We were just talking in the break about how good he was at that time and how much power he had.
That's right.
Off the tee. I mean, he could hit that ball.
That's right. And it was interesting back in that time, blacks didn't have the equipment that the other people had. So they played on what was known as the Chitlin circuit. And he honed his skills as a caddy. And once he got that opportunity, he shined like a diamond. Shined like a diamond.
So, Alvin, in the conversations around the world and here in the United States, in the conversation, he is on the Mount Rushmore of golfers. I've heard that conversation. What did you learn during the making of this documentary, and why did you do it?
I have a writing partner. His name is Seth Schwartz. And quite often he'll say, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And he wanted to do something on Jim Dent. I went and I spent a day with him, and then I got a chance to play golf with him. And that was my dad's idol growing up. So it was just amazing to see his humility.
He was the best.
Everything that he had went through, he stayed humble, and he always said, don't let the highs get too high or the lows get too low. And that stuck with me.
Who won?
No, I wasn't trying to do that. I was just happy to be out there playing with him. Yeah.
And he grew up in Georgia. And you mentioned at the time African Americans were not playing professional golf. They were really not allowed in some of these clubs, including Augusta, right?
That's
a place that is one of the greatest tournaments in the world, and he couldn't go.
He couldn't go. And he said his sister told him, if you go down there and learn how to caddy, you're gonna learn how to gamble. Well, he went down there anyway. He took the spanking, began caddying, took all that knowledge up, and then once he got to the senior tour, he won over $10 million. Man. Doing his thing. Yeah.
And you said even along the way, he beat one of the greatest names in golf.
Jack Nicklaus, that's right. And it was incredible to be there. So I play golf, and everywhere you go at the end of the course, there's gonna be about 4 or 5 older guys sitting in a bench. Now, you know, young man, if you go to the left or to the right, there was like 20 of them at the golf course that day at Augusta National Public. That's where he did a lot of his work.
You said you spent a day with him, right?
Yes.
And he was your father's idol. What did you take away? Then I know you got to golf with him, but what stuck out that maybe you didn't know about him after you got a chance to spend some time with him telling his own story?
I think the biggest thing was they didn't have the equipment coming up. So he said once he got a chance to play professionally, he had to totally adjust his game. I mean, we're talking they made equipment coming up. So to go from that to professional equipment was just amazing. And again, his humility was off the charts.
And it probably changed his game completely,
Yes, it
because
did.
here's a man who was an absolute stud with the equipment that others didn't have. Like they had better stuff. And so when he had that transition must have been really hard as a golfer.
That's right. It was, but again, I tell people all the time, it's all about the human spirit. You give us an opportunity. I teach at Chicago State, and I tell my kids all the time, you got to just try, and you never know what might happen.
Yeah, so you made this documentary. So Alvin, what are you hoping that the people who watch it, how it will change? Because we know that this is really a love letter to Jim Dent, because he was a mentor physically, mentally, financially to the next generation. What are you hoping for the people who watch this?
Well, I think with all my documentaries, and I'm grateful to be in this space, I completed it 4 months before he died.
Oh.
And to be able for him to see it, say he loved it. He didn't know me from Adam. So for someone to give you a full day, you put together a piece over a 7-month period, they see it, they love it, and then leave this earth. That means so much to me, because that allows future generations to know about him.
You seem to be getting emotional talking about that, Alvin. Your eyes are watering.
I mean, so was this one of the best works you've done, you think, in terms of pride, knowing who he was to your dad, knowing who he was to golf as a golfer and a documentary artist. Is this rank up there, you think, in your experience of some of the stuff that you've done?
Top 3.
Yeah.
Especially because of my love for golf. Yeah. I was interviewed the other day and someone was asking me, well, what about the next Tiger? We're not talking about the next Tiger. Yeah. There's not going to be another Tiger.
Yeah.
It's about allowing people to see, people of color to see you can play this game.
Man,
that's the message, because he was not allowed to play in Augusta, where he was born and raised and grew up.
That's right.
Became a caddy, and that's where he really honed in his skills.
That's right.
And that's a lesson for all of us. You know, you're not allowed in, but once you get in, learn what you can and better yourself and better your life. And this is an incredible story.
I appreciate that.
10 million reasons he did all right.
Yeah, and there's a scholarship now in his name as well.
We're going to let you know where it is. What are you working on next? We need to know.
Right.
Give us a little snip. Give us a little something.
The amazing part of it is, so last year I was here with the other story that I did on John Wooten.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm in the process of getting a deal to do 6 HBCU to NFL documentaries that will start running in the next couple of months.
Oh, that's great.
So that deal should be closed any day now.
Those are going to be
really
good.
Great pros that have come out of those college teams. So that's good stuff.
And then my show, Chase the Sun.
Okay. Yes.
It's a look at the game of golf from the beginner, the competitor, and the pleasure golfer. So every week you'll get a chance to see a beginner, equipment, et cetera, a competitor, someone who does this all the time, and then meet a pleasure golfer. I'm just out there at the greatest golf courses, meeting and being around great people. That's on Vaughn.tv, WVON.
WVON. It's not work if you enjoy it, of course. and you get to
Duffer. You got to put Duffer in there,
that's
like me.
That's my father said, if you love your work, you never work a day in your life.
And it's your passion. I have to tell everybody, I've known this young man since maybe 3rd or 2nd grade, and you brought your beautiful wife in. And who knew, back at Neal Elementary School, you've become this great golfer and great documentarian.
I appreciate that.
That means you're young, too.
That's right.
Young
that's
man.
right.
Right there.
That's right.
It is great to see you. Great to meet your wife, who's here watching tonight with us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Here you go. Yeah, here you can catch
the
a screening of The Master Student Becomes the Master Professional, the Jim Dent story at the Wayfarer Theater. That's in Highland Park on Monday, February 23rd at 7 p.m.
Wow.
You'll find information, a link to tickets on our website and news app, and catch this interview again in full if you want to watch it again. It was good stuff, so we appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Powerful piece. Thank you again for that and coming and joining us here in our stream team. We got to talk about, I guess, rain's coming in overnight and maybe some alleged snow. I don't know. Say it isn't so. Cheryl Scott has the chilly weather and your AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Also, the former Prince Andrew arrested. Did you hear about this? Global news. Closer look at the accusations against him following the release of the Epstein files next. New Mexico is reopening its investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. The convicted sex offender owned Zorro Ranch in that state, and New Mexico is investigating possible illegal activity there. The state's attorney general saying he made the decision after reviewing the information the Department of Justice recently released. And the former Prince Andrew was arrested and held for hours by British police today on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is seen here in the back seat of a car leaving the police station. It's the first time in modern history that a member of the royal family has ever been arrested, and his arrest reportedly linked to emails released by the U.S. Department of Justice as part of those Epstein files. Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing, but that was a big development overseas today.
Yeah, breaking news all day, all over the country, all over the world as well. Let's talk about our weather, though. It's Friday Eve, Friday Junior.
It is,
We've almost made it through to the weekend, but it looks like the timing of the weather for our weekend, if we could reverse it
I was gonna say,
and have what we had
Monday,
right, Tuesday.
Move that to tomorrow.
Right.
We do some sort of time travel.
Can we do that?
Work on that, Cheryl, because it looks like we're back in winter again.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, last weekend was incredible, and the past couple of days, phenomenal. So we got a gift. Back to near average. That's February in Chicago. Right now, we're still fairly mild with temps above average, but we're also tracking some rain, some scattered storms this evening. Some light showers north of the city right now, back to the west. A cluster of storms here, southeast Wisconsin, right on top here of the Walworth area, Lake Geneva, Spring Prairie. You can see some lightning as well. Delavan there, right along 43. Brief downpours, some rumbles of thunder. Now, as we look back down towards the south and west, moving into the Peoria area, we do have a line, a cluster of some stronger storms, even a severe thunderstorm warning there. This is what we're watching and forecasting that will be moving in here as we head into the next couple of hours. We don't have a whole lot of instability here across northern Illinois, enough to hold some storms together. We're really not looking at a severe storm threat. The greatest risk is for parts of central Illinois and then downstate southern Illinois into Indiana. This is a tornado watch box. You can see those storms firing up. That's really where the light show is and ongoing at this point in time. So we will be tracking this. That will be moving in the next hour to 2 hours, but those severe warnings down to the south, we'll continue to monitor those as well. So let's track this with our futurecast. As we go into about 7 to 8 o'clock, we'll watch that cluster get a little bit closer, move in across our counties back to the south and west, Livingston back towards LaSalle, DeKalb lifting up to the north into parts of Chicago, and then continuing their way up to the north and east between about 9, 10 o'clock. By about 10:30, 11 o'clock, all of this rain starts to move to the north and out of here. The next part of this system will be moving in as we head into our Friday morning, and that's going to wrap in the colder air. Temperatures plummeting into the 30s overnight. A quick little burst of some snow showers for tomorrow morning, mainly north of I-80. A quick dusting on some area surfaces, but this will not be an accumulating snow event for us. And by tomorrow afternoon, that snow is out of here, but we are left with the cold, wintry conditions that will persist for our Friday night and into the weekend. In terms of that snow, tomorrow morning, again, 1/10 of an inch, up to 1/2 an inch possible in an isolated spot, but not going to be an accumulating snow. Quick burst of some wet snow moving on through tomorrow morning. The big thing with tomorrow will be the temperatures dropping and the winds picking up. Gusty winds 40, 45 miles per hour, and that continues into our Friday night. So we do have a wind advisory that goes into effect overnight until 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures right now, 40s and 50s, but they will be dropping so much so that tomorrow, wind chills a factor. Back in the forecast, it's going to feel like it's in the 20s tomorrow afternoon. So have that winter gear ready to go. For tonight, we're falling into the 30s with evening showers, a few rumbles of thunder expected too, a brief downpour. Tomorrow, change of seasons. Climate pattern shift almost into the next couple of days. 37 degrees for our Friday. The weekend, highs in the 30s. We do have some cloud cover there. And then finally, back to near average by Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, we do have those temperatures climbing into the 40s. That is above average. So seasonal, the return to seasonal, where we should be this time of the year, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Snowflakes.
Yeah, there's snow. It's coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cheryl. Robert Falls started out in the Chicago theater scene as a roller skating panda. Yeah, now he's a world-acclaimed director with a career that has flourished mostly at the Goodman.
He's done pretty good.
Yeah.
That's where he just launched Holiday, a rousing play that's the hit of the season. And
yeah.
Jose Sanders has more from the Footlights.
And that they wanted to make something elegant and beautiful, and that the show somehow was reflected.
When I was sent this play, I just sort of fell in love with it and went, well, this is something I haven't really done. I haven't really done a sort of romantic comedy And for a comedy, it goes in some complicated places about human relationships and family. And I thought, well, this will be really fun, and that's exactly what it turned out to be.
Holiday Company, you're cleared to go to stage. You're cleared to go to stage.
I always sort of admired the chutzpah, which worked.
If I'm excited by the play, I can tell because it starts forming visually in my mind. I start to see what a set might look like. I start to see what the world might be. I start making notes. I start writing things to myself. I start researching. There's always someone down the line, and it could be the tiniest role who you just fall in love with for whatever reason. To some extent, you are in love with them because you begin to understand them and you understand human behavior and the complexity of it. I've always had a tremendous empathy for the acting process and love of actors themselves. You know, I find what they do absolutely heroic, that they get on stage and they're willing to expose themselves, they're willing that they're going to be present. It's almost as if one has to be a psychologist and have a sense of what that actor needs most and what's going to help them give the best performance. The actors who have to go out there every night and be vulnerable in front of an audience. Chicago has had fantastic audiences. It's where I've grown up, really. And it's home. The Goodman Theatre was the opportunity of a lifetime. I would not have known I'd be there 35 years. The time went extraordinarily quickly. And during that period of time, I think I was fortunate enough to work with so many incredible people and make work that I think resonated with a lot of people. You make the play, it opens, and then you go away. It's like raising a kid, and at a certain point, you got to let go. What I remember best is often sitting at the table talking about the play with the actors and discovering it, or the excitement of being on our feet for the first time, hearing the play run from A to Z, and having the pleasure of seeing how what the work everybody has done has come together.
Jose Sanders, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Jose, thanks. You're going to go see it, or you want to?
Right.
Yeah.
Cheryl was going to go last weekend.
Yeah,
she was thinking about going. So.
I was about to go.
Right,
and then I had something come up, unfortunately,
right.
so I couldn't make it. But they extended it, so there's still a few
Thank you.
nights left.
Yes,
Yeah.
in fact, it's now extended at the
fantastic.
Goodman until March 8th, so you have a little more time, and that's by popular demand. It's just supposed to be
It's really good. And Jose said he was so honored to be able to interview that director.
It's a great conversation.
Really
good.
He seems great. From that to how about this? A brand new dinosaur species is about to roar onto the scene.
It's a cool story.
Right here in Chicago. It really is. The animations are my favorite part here. Researchers at the University of Chicago have discovered a new species of Spinosaurus. And the findings will soon be published in the research publication titled Science. And starting March 1st, families can see fossil replicas up close at a special pop-up exhibit at the Chicago Children's Museum. It looks kind of scary.
Looks so real.
Yeah, it does. I mean, look at those teeth. I don't know, but it is pretty cool.
Crazy times.
Yeah, right. So you look forward to that.
I know.
Chicago.
So much great things always around Chicago, and of course it's starting to snow and rain, so you want to do things that you can stay inside.
Indoors,
after
right, you go back in.
Riding bikes and, running outside for the last 3 days or 5 days.
Did you do that?
I took a lot of walks.
Okay.
Yeah, I took a lot of walks.
I need to do all of that.
Yeah, I need to buy a bike, maybe. I could rent one, I guess, but I want to buy one, maybe.
This could be something you could get for the summer.
Yeah.
It's easy to rent them as well. That's it for us. Back at 10. We'll see you then.